Alright, hi kids. So, little update on my Maxima. So, got almost all the wiring finalized. Got my stock fuse box, which I decided to use for a couple of my main powers. Got relays going for the headlights, fans. Got a main little fuse down here that's feeding up here to these two fuse boxes, or two fuse panels I should say. Got a main power from the battery and a switch power for all my accessories. And I got a power for the gauges. Obviously, cardboard's not the final one, but I have to figure out what I'm going to do there. I'm going to delete the vents that are right here. I already blocked them off. So those are blocked off. Gauges will be right here where the vents used to be. Got my radio wiring all sorted out. And did a little upgrade. Got rid of the stock cigarette lighter that's there. And I have a little dual USB 3.0 slash voltage gauge. So now I know where my voltage is when I'm driving, so I don't get a big voltage gauge up here. I can just look down and see it where my cigarette lighter used to be. I got two USB ports, upgraded. Bring this car up to 2020 standards, kind of. So, everything's pretty much wired, ready to go. I gotta shorten up these wires, stick this fuse panel up here somewhere, and the glove box can go back in. Engine's in, running, driving. I gotta latch down the hood. Batteries relocated to the back. I have a 0 gauge wire running over here and the footwell up to the engine bay. That 0 gauge wire goes from my battery all the way up to my starter, and then I have another 0 gauge wire from my starter over to my alternator. So the starter post is actually kind of like the main post of the system. Oh yeah, sorry. From there I have a 4 gauge wire coming from that starter post back into the car, coming over here to this main fuse box. And that's my main power inside the car. Obviously, there's a breaker on it just in case anything decides to touch metal and short out and try to kill me while I'm driving. There's a breaker back there. Would I have loved to use what the hell? Would I have loved to use a fuse? Yes, but it's going to a starter. That starter's probably going to pop that fuse every time I try to start the car, so screw that. I'm just going to use a breaker for now. If it gives me issues, I'll swap it out later. But for right now, this is working. Car started. It's running. It's driving. I'm cool. I just got to clean all of this crap up. I got to put the body panels, or I should say interior panels, back in. I got to order a radio. Put a radio in here. I gotta throw this cover back on. The fans are in. I have this cheapo, I don't like this one, but this one's a variable fan controller. There's a temperature gauge, temperature sensor that goes from here, snakes inside the engine bay. It's hooked onto the top radiator hose, so I can control the temperature. The fans come on and off, but this thing, I want to get rid of it and get a digital one. But for right now, that'll work. Fans are running. This is kind of interesting, I found. It was easier for me to run the fans off of this relay, this fuse right here in the box. There's an actual fuse, there's two fuses for the fans. There's a main fuse in here for the actual box itself, and there's all these other fuses. I had that big giant panel in my hands, and I had that, and I was just like, why would I use that big giant fuse panel when I could just use this little thing right here that's actually kind of compact, and I can just bolt it up here out of the way, close the glove box, just have it, clean it out of the way. So that's why I use that. Fans are running off their normal relay, the normal fuse. I keep saying relay. Almost everything's running off its normal fuse off this box, so that way I don't have to have that big giant panel. I actually shrunk that panel down to use it for my accessories, and I mounted it up here. So now I have a main battery power panel, and I have a switch panel, and I have all these grounds that I can use to ground that stuff out. So now my little cigarette lighter USB thing, my gauges, my radio, any other accessories that I'm going to be running will be ran off of that panel. That way I can get to it easily. If it's fused, I don't have to worry about it. I can find a ground and a power. I don't have to go searching through the car. If I need battery power, I'll get it off this panel. I don't have to go searching through the car. It's all right here. I can just pop this panel off. This is usually where the airbag would go. But I'm gonna be a real man, and anybody riding my passenger seat is gonna be a real man and die like a man. No airbags. I'll have an airbag. They won't have an airbag. They'll die like a man. Anyway, so yeah, that's an update. That's what's happening with this car. Sweet. All right, bye.